guys, how are you all? Hope you all are doing well. So here I am today with a few recipes on how to make vegetables. You know, after having kids, it became a challenge to feed them really tasty vegetables. So I came up with certain recipes that kind of have stood the test of time and the children don't fuss too much when they eat it. So it's a mix of, you know, some Indian style flavored vegetables and also what you would call continental or Californian or American. It's a mishmash. So I want to share that with you and I hope you like it. So let's start with an Indian style, easy to make cauliflower, for which we'll use the oven. So this is one head of cauliflower which I'm cutting into florets. You can even break them apart. So guys, I have everything ready here. This is my mise en place. So curry powder, half teaspoon. We have quarter teaspoon cumin powder, a quarter teaspoon onion powder, quarter teaspoon garlic powder, half teaspoon of ground pepper. And then I added some chili powder because, you know, I'm desi, I need a little bit of an extra kick. And then we have half teaspoon of sea salt and then 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. If you guys go to Costco and buy your stuff, get this olive oil, which is 100% extra virgin Italian olive oil, and it is produced from Italian grown olives and it's cold extracted. So this is the best one you can get in terms of the pricing and quality. And then we also have some cilantro, but this will go in the end, so this is not over here, and also lemon in the end. Look at the beautiful green hue in the olive oil. I mean, it's golden. Beautiful. Ah, liquid gold. Cauliflower is nicely cut up or separated, and in goes all of this masala. Olive oil. I'm going to use my hands. I see people wearing gloves and things like that. I have no cuts. Hands have been washed. It's just for the family. They can deal with this. So give it a good mix. This is relaxing in a way. And I do believe that, you know, the time you spend stirring and mixing and coating things really well, I think that all of that is really important. I used to be a cook where I used to kind of try to do things fast and not paying attention to these minor details. But now I've become a believer in this. Now I know why my mother's food tastes so good, because she spends time. She keeps looking at it and spending time, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so inefficient. You're taking so long. But now I get it. Now I know why her food tastes a certain way and mine a certain other way. At this point, when I have an oven that's preheated to 475 degrees, roast it until tender and nicely browned, which is about 15 to 20 minutes. Oh my God, the spices, the cumin, oh, it smells so good. I want to eat it as is. In fact, you know what? I just might. This is so good. Just the way it is. But it's not great for me to have raw veggies. So I'm gonna have to cook this. And into the oven it goes. Just pulled it out. Here it is, looking good. Oh, it's stuck to the bottom a little bit at 475. But that's what gives it that nice charred effect, right? So I put this in for 10 minutes. And I'm just gonna give it a good mix. And I think just another 5 minutes will do it because it's already seems somewhat cooked. So guys, I pulled out the cauliflower and it's looking plenty charred enough at 15 minutes. So, you know, every oven varies. So I think I'm good with this. Now for the final step for the cauliflower, guys, I put this in here into a bowl and we add that 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh cilantro and 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. And then you just give it a good mix. And an easy cauliflower. How easy was that, guys? How easy was that? now let's try to figure out two other vegetables, broccoli and asparagus. So this is a dish I've been making all along, and these are my own recipes. They're very basic, very easy. They're on our dinner table once or twice a week. So I have this garlic here, is the Christopher Ranch, and it is packaged, grown and packaged right here, you know, just about an hour away in Gilroy in California. California is the biggest producer. We produce 90% of the garlic that is commercially produced in the United States. But at the same time, a lot of and most of our garlic comes from China. That's the trivia for the day. And you can get a big bag like this from Costco. And you know, I go through these quite easily. And I find that compared to the Indian garlic, the flavor is not as strong. So I tend to use a lot more garlic than what I would use in India. Let's get started. If you can get uniform sizes like these are great. And you know how to break them, right? You just go like this, just snap them off. Wherever it gives, that's the part to be discarded. Okay, oh, that goes. So that's how you snap them, and then you wash these. And all you need for that is just, for this particular dish, super simple dish, is garlic and olive oil, good quality salt here, and some pepper. And all you need is a good cast iron pan. Okay, let me show you that. This is my pan, a nice cast iron. I think that's where all the flavor comes from. I'm washing and popping over here. One more wash. And they're ready. Place them on your really hot cast iron pan. This has been, you know, on very high setting. Very hot. So I have managed to fit them all in. So what you need to do is just cook it for, I would say, maybe a couple of minutes, and then you can get fancy and use tongs, but you know, I'm a seasoned home chef, so I'm just gonna pick it up and see. So it's not really charred here at all. I don't think it will take more than 3 minutes. Let's check again. Yeah, it's starting to brown a little bit. It may even be a good idea to put the thick ones in the middle where the heat is the most, and put the thin ones on the sides. So going back to that topic of using my hands to move the asparagus around, my kids showed me this funny meme where, you know, these guys, students, you know, they're trying to cook and they use their hand and they're like, ow, 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 it's so hot. And then they have their grandma or their mom who walks in and she starts like making tortillas or something, and she has the palms on the pan and she has the elbows on the palm. On the pan. So it's just, you know, shows how you get used to cooking. You can tolerate a lot more heat. So now I've flipped them over, so I'll give it another 2-3 minutes on this side. Now I have my tongs because it's getting a lot hotter. There's a nice char, a light char coming along on all sides. So this is how you know it's kind of, it's done. Depends on whether you like it crispy or not. I think for us, this would work fine. You can always cut off a little bit, try it and see also, you know, if it's ready for you. But I'm going to turn off the pan, the heat right now, because on a cast iron pan, it continues to cook. So I have about a tablespoon of garlic because I always like a little extra. So you can put that on there and let it cook. I try to put the garlic at the end because otherwise if you put it at the start, it gets burnt by the end, you know. And then comes olive oil, because again with olive oil you don't want to overheat the oil. So I have a capful of olive oil. It's up to you, you know, how much you want to put, a teaspoon, tablespoon, how much oil you want to consume. And olive oil is good for you, so you don't need to worry too much. It's a secret to the long lifespan of the Mediterraneans. And now I'm going to mix some salt and pepper. And that's pretty much all the seasoning. I'll give it a good stir. Mixing is important, guys. I learned this a little later in life, how important it is to spend time on mixing, sauteing. All of this, you know, makes your cooking a little bit better than everybody else's. That's a pro tip. Look at the garlic. You put it at the very end, and yet after turning off the flame, and yet look at, it's nicely, perfectly browned. See, that's the beauty of a cast iron pan. Retains the heat. There it is, guys, a beautiful bowl. Oh, and this bowl, this kind of an oval bowl, I find really works well for asparagus. It's my favorite dish to serve it in. So beautiful asparagus there, nicely mixed, lovely garlic, perfectly roasted, not overdone. And then look at my tongs. It's in the shape of an asparagus tip. Isn't this lovely? It works perfectly for, you know, even for the sauteing that I did of the asparagus, and even for serving. I bought these at Crate and Barrel. I'll provide a link in case they're still selling it. So now I'm gonna eat this nice yummy meal and watch one of the YouTubers. She lives in Kerala, but she's originally from Finland. She just had a baby, and so I'm gonna catch up with what has been happening in her life while I eat my lunch. So guys, for the broccoli, I have one big head of broccoli here, which I have cut into florets. And onions, you can use about 1 tablespoon, and garlic, 1 teaspoon, and chili flakes, about 1/4 teaspoon. And then I have salt and pepper to taste, and extra virgin olive oil. So this is what goes into it. We just mix this, and also there's 1 tablespoon of water. You want to make sure that you use a glass bowl because I'm going to microwave it in this. So this, ideally, guys, you want to marinate it overnight. So it's one of those dishes that you can prep ahead of time. So that's what I like about it. But you know, if you don't have the time, then what you can do is just at least give it about 2 hours, maybe minimum 2 hours, just sit and marinate. So give it a good mix. Make sure it's fully coated with the olive oil and the water. If you want, you can always add, if you find it's not sort of coating all of the broccoli, you can always add a little bit more water or a little bit more olive oil. So I'm going to leave this in the fridge overnight since I have enough time. So guys, it's the next day and I have my broccoli here, and I'm going to microwave this for about 3 minutes. That's enough for this much, but you can always increase the speed if you're making more, and also if it's just come out of the refrigerator, in which case you want to add another 30 seconds and see if it's well done. I liked it cooked thoroughly. I don't really like it crunchy, but depending on your taste, you could do it. For me, 3 minutes works out well. So in it goes into the microwave, and you could put a lid on it, a microwave safe lid, or if you don't have that, you can even cling wrap it, because I like the moisture to stay inside, and it just cooks it better. So you could cling wrap it too. I do that sometimes. So 3 minutes. It's looking good, guys. It's really hot. I'm just going to feel it. Oh, it's definitely cooked through. It's perfect. I'm just going to give it a mix and it will be ready. Smells great. Very nice. Try it. This one's a people pleaser. Yummy. So how easy was that, guys? Do give this a shot, and also look at how lovely the color is. It retains the green color beautifully. And here's another roast chicken meal, but with broccoli this time. Alright, so now here I'm trying to make some raita. And this is something we make all the time at home. This is a basic raita. A lot of Indian households use this. Grows well with rice and dal, whatever else you want, just to moisten the rice. So it's a basic go-to raita. These are the main ingredients. I like English cucumbers or Persian cucumbers. So this is an English cucumber. So I'm going to use one. This is not a huge one, and in fact I'm going to cut off this end because it's become a little soft. So I'm going to cut off that end. Jalapenos, I like jalapenos rather than Indian chilies, because I feel like, the other kinds, the serranos and the, the Anaheim, I think they don't react very well with my stomach. So I use jalapenos. Now I would probably use a little bit of this, maybe 1/4 of this. So 2 tomatoes, this, cilantro, it's all to taste. Maybe I'll use this much of the cilantro. I don't need all that much. And then we also use onions. So I have a quarter onion here, and this is from yesterday. It was in the fridge. So I have a tip for you. You know how it get oxidized on this part? You don't want to eat that, right? It's free radicals or whatever. So what I do is I slice off this ends, and then beneath that is like really fresh onion. So then I use that part. So I'm not going to use a whole quarter onion. I'm going to use maybe it depends. If you like onions, you can, but I don't like too much onion, so I'll probably use half of this. So that's what, an eighth of this onion. Then the final ingredient is yogurt. So I have, if you like cashew milk, you can use that. I also have regular yogurt here. This is a Greek yogurt. I'm going to dilute that. You could just add water to dilute it. I also like kefir. Kefir is also very nice, I think, because then it's already diluted. So you can just pour it into this. Whereas this, I'm going to have to dilute with a little bit of water. Now, when you are peeling these, I've seen some people, some of our friends, what they do is either you can peel all of it, or you could just keep a little bit of the skin. So these, I think they don't put wax and all. That's the reason why it's nicely coated in a plastic wrap. So you could have this if you want a little bit more fiber, so you can go like this, keep a little bit of the skin. It's up to you. I think there's something to be said for keeping it nicely finely chopped, so you get a little bit of cilantro in every bite instead of, you know, one big leaf. In it goes. Chop the onions finely as well. You probably have your own way of doing it. I have my own crazy way. I went for a French cuisine class once, and they told me that I didn't know what I was doing because I had my fingers like this when I was chopping. So one basic thing they teach you is to have your nails tucked back like this, so you don't cut your finger. This knife works really well, but I have a tip for you. Get this tomato knife, you know, this serrated knife. I got this from Crate and Barrel. I think it's by whom? Gourmet Wusthof. But the serrated knife works so much better with tomatoes. But I have a multi-purpose Kerala knife, so I don't really need that. I tend to just slice them like this, and then I, you know, cut through. And then just finely chop it up. Keep your fingers as far away as possible. I've seen my mom in Kerala and my grandma, they had a way, they would cut it like this. Woo! I don't know if I can do it without endangering. Oh my God, no, I can't. Oh my God. But they for this finger, they wore like a rubber cover on the here, made out of rubber, and then they would go like this. I can't do that. I can't do that, guys. So I'm going back to my way. So now we have all these ingredients, all the vegetables in there. You can give it a good mix, and then to that you add your yogurt. Make a nice little smooth paste out of it. It's still very thick, so I'm going to add water to this. So I added about 2 tablespoons of water, maybe a little more than what I should have. And there's one tip for you. You could do this part ahead of time, this part ahead of time, and you can even mix this with this and keep it, but don't add salt to it. If you add salt right now, what will happen is it'll release too much water and this thing will be a sorry mess. So add salt at the very end. So I have a crazy family. Some people like it with yogurt, some people like it with cashew yogurt, some people like it, that's me, and some people just like it plain. So I'm going to just divide this up. Now you add as much as you want to this. And then you can check the consistency, right? There, starting to look great already. And then use some really fine quality, you know, good quality salt. Now I have a nice tasty salt that I got from my store. It's a nice Italian salt. I don't know how, but it does work very well with raita. Nice fine sea salt. Mix that in there. And look, the consistency is perfect. This is how you want a raita to be. So that worked out. So a little bit of trial and error, right? And then I want to show you, if you don't like yogurt, as some of my family members not big fans of, what you can do is just add this. I'm making a mess here. Add a little bit of salt to this, to your taste. And where's that lemon I had? Yeah, here we are. Take a little bit of lemon instead of the yogurt. You want to keep it dairy free. Add some lemon juice to it. This is another way of having just a little, I think, is it called kachumber? Just a little bit of a salad goes really well with Indian food. So if you have rice and dal and that cauliflower and this, or this raita, yum, 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 yum. So good. I think I need a little bit more salt. Maybe I have too much salt, I don't know. It's so fresh for summers. It's really nice, guys. It's really nice. It's a nice basic raita. Okay, not much fuss, very basic. The perfect side dishes for an Indian meal. Look how I've paired it. I have raita, cauliflower, some garbanzo and some black lentils and some rice that I made. Next, we're making a mushroom with a pesto filling. It's so easy to make, and all you need is you know, these type of brown mushrooms. These are kind of big, so I washed these and kept it, and I'm going to take off this part, and you can just kind of just, you know, just pop it off like this. They come out fairly easily. And we're going to fill this in with some pesto sauce. I'll even show you how I make a quick pesto, but you know, pesto is pretty easy to find and to buy. And in the summer, it's the best time if you grow your own basil. By the way, I picked up this basil plant yesterday from Whole Foods. It was on sale, only $4. And I have a skylight right above. So it's perfect, you see. You get enough sunlight from up there. So I'm going to just place it right here. And it's also close to the sink. You can always put water in there, you know. So let's get going, and let's remove all of these little stems. Oh, I love that popping sound. And put them aside. And what I do with this is I make a vegetable. You can make a stock out of it, or you can add it to the meat stock that you're making. It just makes it even more umami-esque, right? Just blot it with a paper towel, because you don't want water in this. So next, I just put some olive oil all over, and then just rub it. Just make sure it's nicely coated with the olive oil. You don't want too much. You just want to give it a little polish, you know, with olive oil, and that's good enough, because the pesto also has oil in it. So guys, make sure to buy really firm mushrooms, because otherwise they may not hold the shape. Like one over here is kind of, it just came apart. Anyhow, so the firmer the mushroom, the better it is, and the more fresh it is. Guys, I had some pesto sauce that I had from the other day that I had kept in the fridge. So I'm going to use some of this remaining, and I'll also make a fresh batch just now. So just plop it in there. For my pesto, oh my God, these are so nice. A giant, lovely, huge basil. Wash this basil, some pine nuts. Oh my God, these nuts are so yummy even to have by themselves. Some garlic. Now you could use one clove, but I just love garlic. So I have 3 here, some lemon, some cheese. Now this is a 3-year aged Gouda. You can use Parmesan, but I just find that Gouda has, and the more aged it is, it has more of a stronger flavor. So I've switched to using Gouda. And then I have some good quality olive oil here, some salt and pepper, and a food processor. Just a basic Cuisinart. Just put all of this together, and for the cheese I would just kind of grate it and then add to this. So this is it. You just put it in there and just give it a good mix, and voila, there you have it. I would just cut up the garlic just so that it doesn't get left in, you know, chunks. It's up to you how cheesy you want it. So the cheese also has a lot of salt, so be careful when you add the salt. You just need a tad, just a little bit, just to balance it. You don't need a whole lot. So I'm going to put the pine nuts and the cheese, squeeze the lemon, catch the seeds, pepper. If you can add some freshly ground pepper, even better. Salt, just a little bit. And top it up with some olive oil. So guys, I stirred it and I blended it about 3 times for about 30 seconds each. And I think now it's perfect. Oh my God, there's so much basil and cheesy goodness in there. And just pop it in the oven at 350 degrees. Now you could put it as is, you know, just stick it in the oven. But here is my secret ingredient. You know, I need a little bit more of a kick to my food because I'm Desi, I'm from India, and on top of that, I'm from Kerala, which is the land of spices. So this is not exactly spices, but I get this from Trader Joe's. It's the chili lime seasoning blend. So you sprinkle a little bit on top of the mushrooms, and it just takes it another level. See, what does it have in it? It has sea salt. Yeah, see, another reason why you want to be careful about how much salt you add. Sea salt, chili pepper, red bell pepper, lime juice powder, and citric acid. So essentially that's what this is. So I wonder if you could just add some paprika if you don't have this, and some lemon juice. And here is another secret ingredient. You can add a little bit more for some extra umami, again from Trader Joe's. What it is a little bit of onions, mustard, mushroom powder, crushed red bell pepper, black pepper, and thyme. There we go. Now, if you don't want it to be strictly gluten-free, you can also add some breadcrumbs on top and add a little grated cheese also. It makes it really delicious. So guys, 30 minutes, let's see. Yeah, I think the mushroom is shrunk a bit, so it's a little bit more, I think pronounced. The flavor should be good. Now you can see it's bubbling beautifully. Voila, there it is. Nice pesto, mushrooms. You can have it as an appetizer with some wine as well, or by itself, or in a barbecue. It's also good. Add that to mashed potatoes. Oh, yum. So I hope you like that, and I hope you will try out some of those recipes and incorporate that into your daily cooking. Yeah, and as I was cooking those dishes, I realized there are some other vegetables too that I would like to share. So if you like this video, you find it useful, do give me a like and subscribe, and I look forward to sharing even more recipes and experiences with you. Bye.